How are you guys? Welcome back to Wargaming China. And today on the table, it's the 12th of March 1938. Now, if you know this channel, you know that it's my free channel where I platform my understandings of the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression in China from 1931 to 1945. And recently I've been doing a series of videos about the 22nd Army Group and the way it resisted the drive of the 10th IJA Infantry Division south until the culmination of the battle inside the walled town of Tang County. Now, I was going to go and do that battle, but I thought these series of videos needed to go back into context, in the larger context of the Suzhou campaign. So I paused on that and brought us to Linyi. Now, why did I do that? The next stage of that battle, the fight for the town of Tang County, the walled town, took place from the 12th to the 17th of March 1938, and the fighting here culminates in the same week too. And what's happened, this is about 75 miles east of Tang County, the town of Linyi, and we're joining forces with Major General Pang Bing-xun, also known as Pang the Undead. Now, he's a very interesting character, and I'm going to discuss him with you. He was born in 1879 in Hebei province, and he was a graduate of a surveying academy, but he wasn't a success. So he joined the army, and he was commissioned as a captain. But during the revolution of 1911, he was suspected of sympathizing with the revolutionaries and cashiered. Again, civilian life found him unsuccessful. So at 41 years old, he joined the forces of Feng Yuxiang, or the Christian general, as part of the Northwestern Army. He performed really well and earned a reputation as a good commander. When Chiang launched his northern expedition in 1926, Pang was serving under Wei Pu Fu, or you might know him as the Jade Marshal. Pang always played his cards well, and announced his support of Chiang, switching sides. In 1927, he was ordered by Chiang to seize Nanjing, but he switched sides again, and the Christian general was glad to get him back. He was promoted to a divisional commander, and in 1929 distinguished himself fighting for Feng during the Central Plains War. But when the young marshal, in charge of the Northeastern Army, declared for Chiang, Pang again switched sides and attacked his former allies, including the Zhang Zhizhong. However, when he changed sides again for Chiang welcomed him because Chiang was short of good commanders. And in 1930, he was appointed commander of the 40th Corps, which is the unit that you're still commanding today. So he's very familiar with these troops, and these troops are on his tit. Even though he's a government, he is a general officer in the NRA, his Northwestern alliances will always mean that he is shorter on the supply line, and will always mean that he is, well, he's trusted, but he earns his trust because he's such a good commander. He is a very good commander, and he proves it for Chiang whilst fighting the communists. And again, he fights Japan during the Great War campaign. He leads the 40th Corps, and also for 3 years in Mongolia. He's in and out of there fighting in Mongolia. So he's very familiar with fighting the Japanese, and has become a very, very reliable nationalist commander. However, with all that betrayal in his past, and bearing in mind how many warlords are now generals of armies, or indeed leading their own armies in the field, clashes of personalities. You know, the Allies had clashes of personalities, but the dangers, the fears of Chinese high command, the MAC, was that sometimes the forces might betray each other. I mean, it had happened. We look at the beginning of this campaign with Han Fu Chu. So it wasn't a certainty that this army, the 40th Corps with its 5 regiments, would stand. Now, we're at the 12th of March, but February had found this army, had found the 40th Corps and its commander, Pang the Undead, harassing the advance of the Chinese 5th Division. And with support in and around Jiu County, they had, which is about 20 miles back up the road from here, they had completely ground the Japanese to a halt. They didn't counterattack to gain any territory, but the Japanese advance was definitely stalled. But what the Japanese did was they released air power from that was allotted to the 10th Division, and shuffled over more air support. And this combination of saturation, bombing, and total during daylight hours, just like taxi ranks of Japanese planes, this broke the 40th Corps. So Pang was forced to retreat back to a good defensive line, which was around Linyi. Now, Pang is waiting for his reinforcements, or assistance. And the only assistance that's coming is the, I think it's a 59th Corps. And, the only assistance that's coming is the 59th Corps. And the 59th Corps is a very good formation. Again, it's Northwestern Army. And the only problem is that it's commanded by Zhang Zhizhong, who Pang had already betrayed and turned against on the field of battle. So there must have been some doubt in Pang's mind whether Zhang was going to come. There must have been some doubt in Zhang's mind whether Linyi was going to be in Japanese hands or Chinese hands, because he wouldn't have trusted Pang not to make a deal with the Japanese. And as we'll see in the future, Zhang was correct. So Pang has his 5 regiments. When he had withdrawn his forces from harassing the Japanese rear and pulled back into Linyi, there were supplies awaiting. Now, one of the key features of the fighting around Taiyuan for the Chinese is the supply lines. And Suzhou, which is the look, there are some sources you'll read that say Taiyuan is the HQ of the 5th Army, but there are many more that say it's Suzhou. Taiyuan is the supply hub, the major supply hub, but because of the Grand Canal. And this is the reason that these Chinese formations are able to field and stay in the field, supplied for so long, which is not the normal thing for Chinese armies. Now, we're going to look at Zhang forces. Now, for this game, for this scenario, hang on. For this scenario, I didn't want to. I didn't want to get too complicated with this scenario because it's a complicated story anyway. I've only got the half of it. So, to the rear and on the flank of the 40th Corps is the Linyi River, and on the 12th of March, 1938, Zhang leads his 59th Corps across the Yi River in a flanking maneuver on the Chinese left, whilst at the same time at the same time Zhang's forces attack on the right. So what Pang does is he sends, I perhaps didn't get that correct. Pang sends two regiments out of his 5 in a flanking maneuver on the Chinese left. On his right, Zhang's 59th Corps, which has successfully crossed the Yi River with the use of pontoon bridges, has started and will commence its attack on the Japanese flank on the Chinese right. So with their flank already being harassed on their approach here, the Japanese, the two major forces of the Japanese 15th Division are the Sakamoto and Katano detachments, and they advance as they advance on Taizhuang. Each one is met with stiff resistance. Now, they have combined here for this attack, or is my understanding that they have. And this attack, this battle here is only like one part of the battlefield, obviously, because this is a war game. So we are looking at the drive of the Japanese 5th Division on the town of Linyi, and then we will look and we will start the counterattack of Zhang's forces, and the counterattack of Pang the Undead's forces. So these forces will be coming in, well, they'll have to be diced for, and their objectives will also be diced for. That's why there's like so many dice scattered on the table. Now, with this flanking maneuver going on, and the Japanese being attacked on both flanks, the attack on Linyi dissolves, and after 5 days, the Japanese withdraw, leaving lots of equipment behind. And while this is going on, the fighting for the walled town of Teng County is also going on, and all of this is buying more time for supplies to arrive at Taizhuang for the defense of that town, because it is pivotal that both sides hold that town. It is pivotal for the Japanese to take that town as the next step to take Suzhou, and the Chinese know that. So that's why this battle at Linyi is such an important battle, and it will put the battles of the 22nd Army Group also back into perspective. Now, I'm going to play this over 8 turns, and I'll do a after action report. I'm just trying to think of anything else to tell you. Oh yeah, I'll go into the formation details in the AAR, but I just wanted to talk about Pang and how this battle showed that even though all the warlords had grudges, they didn't put them before the defense of China. Alright, so I hope you subscribe. I hope you like that. And cheers. See you later.